Let's start with that. Paint us a picture of how does a resource-based economy work for people that have no idea what that means.
Well, resource-based economy, the resources going to where they need to versus where they're controlled. And so basically what this would look like is I kind of envision a circular city. You know, most cities, you know, would be circular in this new system. And we would have, you know, lots of like magnet trains. That's just an idea, something that doesn't require, you know, a source of fuel, like fossil fuel, something that's finite. And so we would have, you know, big delivery systems in this circular structure to disperse all the resources where they need to go. Kind of, you know, placed where, you know, there's not a grid pattern where you start and stop several times. There's going, you know, that's for the purpose of surveillance and everything. And so we would have magnet trains or some means of, you know, renewable energy transportation in order to get all those resources in the city to where they need to go.
Why does it need to be a circular city? You know, anybody that's going to watch this is like, well,
why a circle?
Resource-based economy can, because obviously a resource-based economy is going to begin on a grid pattern in cities.
Yeah.
So,
well, the way that I see everything working right now is more of a like a pyramid setup. You have people at the top, you know, directing all the people below them. And I think I honestly think that circular is more philosophical than an actual practical approach, just because I think, you know, everything should be, you know, from one person to the next, not, you know, coming down and then you transfer down to, you know, people. The way that I see it set up currently is everyone at the top knows what's going on while everyone else is holding up the top not knowing what they're actually doing. And as far as a city would go, I think it would make transportation methods a lot easier, even as far as traffic goes, because everything is traffic lights, stop, go. We recently, you know, came up with the idea of a roundabout where, you know, it's a stop setup. And instead of stopping, you have a bunch of yield signs, and, you know, you go and all you got to do is slow down for the person next to you, and then you go. Everyone thinks that, you know, with limited control like that everyone's going to be crashing into each other, or, you know, it's going to be dysfunctional, but it's actually faster and more efficient. And that's just, you know, just a stop that has been replaced with, not an actual city. And I think, yeah, and basically it's philosophically, again, that whole idea comes from, you know, anticipation of your needs versus anticipation of the other person's needs versus a strict, you know, stop or go type mentality. And so if you're conscious of what you're doing and what other people are doing, then it works more efficiently versus just following a rule and stopping right there, even when there's no other traffic, and then going. With this one, you yield to oncoming traffic because you have to pay attention, you know, to whether there is none. Not to mention, at an actual stoplight, or stop sign, I mean, a lot of people stop and, you know, don't look both ways, but there's no vehicle, so they just go. When all the while there could be a crazy maniac coming, you know, full speed, who doesn't see the stop sign and just goes right through it. With this, you're already anticipating the other person's move too. Wow. So it has more implications like that too. Not to mention, efficient-wise, if you have a few magnet trains going around in circles, you can, you know, have them yielding to each other versus having to stop this one and then this one goes for an allotted period and so on and so forth. It's basically pick up and go.
Why trains? Why does a train figure in?
A train would figure in because you have to have tracks for a train, which means that it would be more easy to set up routes. Not to mention, these routes are going to be traveled specifically by the train, so you don't have to incorporate any oncoming or outgoing traffic. It's just meant for that specific purpose. So if you know, And buses, planes, all that stuff could still come into play too. But I think a train would be the most solid of transportation methods.